I used to be obsessed with mice. Not the rodents, but computer mice. To the point where I would bring at least 3 of them to school every day. It all started with this one, the MPET M70. I got it off of Amazon for approximately 15 crisp buckaroos. So you can imagine that it wasn't too great of a mouse, but call it a hit, man, the way it got the job done. That was a funny joke. Why aren't you laughing? It wasn't until my 12th birthday, which is when my friend gave me this glorious Model O. Now, I swear I'm not like in love with this mouse. That's just the name of the brand. And this was great for Bed Wars because the way that combat works in Bed Wars is you're just trying to click your opponent as fast as possible. And this mouse has this little ability called double clicking. For those of you who don't know, double clicking is when you click on your mouse, but it does 2 clicks instead of 1, so it's like a click but double. So when Bed Wars players heard about double clicking, they collectively ejaculated their pants. We made it. We're at the surface. That's my house. So this led to me playing Bed Wars again, because I thought that now that I had the proper mouse to play it, I'd be a little better at it. So I start playing the game, and sure enough, I'm still absolutely terrible. And one thing about the Bed Wars community is that everybody really likes mice and also like trying out different types of mice. So that led to me developing a little bit of a mice addiction, which I find hilarious because some people get addicted to weed, some people get addicted to gambling, which is awesome. And my geek ass got addicted to mice. Now, the thing about being 13 and 14 is that I didn't have any income, so I couldn't buy myself all the big fancy mice that I wanted to buy myself. Now, I actually lied to you guys. The mouse I got for my 13th birthday was this one, the glorious Model D. Has a different shape, but the mouse I really wanted was this glorious Model O. I didn't have the means to buy it yet, so I purposefully bought this fake one. I wouldn't actually use it to play games because I knew that it was terrible. I think I just wanted to have the mouse. I bought a lot of terrible office mice, a lot of office mice that I got for free. My dad got me this mouse from his work. It doesn't work anymore. Also, when he gave me the mouse, almost 4 years ago, the scroll wheel was sticky. The scroll wheel is still sticky to this day. So it's probably a good thing that the mouse doesn't work anymore because that's not something that I want to be touching. I also got a couple mice like this one off of Facebook Marketplace. I wish I had gotten a mouse off of Alibaba. Not because Alibaba has great mice, but just to be able to say that I have a mouse from Alibaba. But now I'm a self-aware person, and I knew that I didn't have the money to buy all the fancy mice that I needed to make a really cool mouse collection. So instead, to be able to make a really cool mouse collection, I decided to buy interesting mice. The car mouse is awesome. Does it suck ass? Yes, it's not a good mouse, and the shape absolutely sucks for holding it. But is it awesome? Hell yeah. Then there's this thing. This is in fact a mouse. You use the trackball to look around. I don't even remember when I bought this. I just remember it kind of like appearing someday, presumably as some sort of punishment from God. I'm not even gonna lie, this is really fun to use. It's terrible for like actually using a mouse, but it is incredibly fun. But then, as I got a little older and I was still into mice, I decided to spend a little bit more of my cash on some actually nice mice. Hey, we got our first piece of obsidian. This is when I actually did buy the real Model O, not the fake one and not the Model D. I also have the glorious Model O Mini. And you might be thinking, Jesus, Poit, you must really like this brand of mouse. I'm gonna be honest, like, no, not really. It was never my intention to have 3 glorious mice. It does seem just a little excessive to me. I already confused myself with all of these in the beginning of the intro, so you might be thinking, wait, if you think it's a lot, why do you have 3 glorious mice? Well, you see, I used to have this mouse by HyperX. I don't remember the name, but I just remember that it had really nice clicks and I really liked it. And a friend of mine who also played Bed Wars had this mouse. They wanted to try out the other mouse, and so they said, hey, what if we switch mice and then we can give each other our mice back later? This was in 6th grade. 2 years later, in 8th grade, we graduate, go to separate schools, we don't really talk to each other anymore, yet we still have each other's mice. Which is why I do have this third glorious mouse, despite my intentions. Then there's this mouse, the Bloody A70X. This is another one of them fancy double-clicking mice, like the glorious ones. And I'm gonna be honest, it is not worth the $50 I spent on it. The shape has this like ridge in the center, which makes it incredibly uncomfortable to have your palm on. I don't know who approved the design for it, but I can't really complain because I'm the one that spent money on it. Then there's this one, the Logitech G502. The coolest thing about this one is the fact that it has like 13 buttons, which is ridiculous because like who saw a mouse with the normal amount of 3 buttons and thought, hey, you know what would make this mouse a lot better? If it had another 10 buttons. Also, we got a crafting table, yo. This is actually a pretty nice mouse though, and it's an incredibly comfortable shape. And now you might be looking at all these mice I have and go, wow, Jesus, dude, why do you have so many? There's no need for that many mice. And while I do agree, I am not that bad. You should check out the YouTubers whose entire channels are dedicated to mice. There's this guy, Boardsy, that I used to always watch, who it's ridiculous how many mice they have. I think that their mouse collection is insanely awesome. I would be lying to you if I said that I am like completely over mice. Like I still think that they're sick, and I still sometimes get the thought of like, hey, I should get a new mouse. So I might in the future. If you want to hear me talk about my favorite conspiracy theories, then click on this video right here.